Here we go. Guess what? Benjamin Netanyahu, ladies and gentlemen, had a Christmas wish for Christians. I'm not kidding. Here it is.
To our Christian friends around the world, Merry Christmas. Christmas is supposed to be a time of goodwill to all men and peace on earth.
But turns out I had other plans. Anyway, okay, here we go.
Well, we don't have peace on earth, not on our part anyway. And we certainly don't.
Whoa. It seems like he's admitting it. Not on our part. We're I don't know if you know, we're busy slaughtering the children of our enemies. Anyway, and not on our part anyway. He's admitting. Here we go.
See goodwill to all men. We're facing monsters who
But enough about when I go to see my shrink. Anyway,
children in front of their parents and parents in front of their children, who raped and beheaded women, who burnt babies alive, who took babies hostage.
So there's still, this is, what a great Christmas wish, isn't this? I gotta tell you, this guy, I'd hate to see his Christmas card. Did it just just open it up and it's an abortion? What is going on? It's unbelievable. This is your Christmas wish? Okay, here we go.
This is a battle, not only of Israel against these barbarians, it's a battle of civilization against barbarism. And I know in this that we have your support. I want to thank you.
So you know he's lying, right? Because he knows he doesn't have people's support. A Jewish think tank did their own study. 95% of all the protests about Israel-Palestine are pro-Palestine. That's the whole world. So they've lost the whole world. Okay, just so you know.
Your support. I want to thank you for your prayers. And I want to assure you that as we stand together, we will also prevail. We shall win this war and secure our common values and our common future. Thank you.
Boy, Satan Claus really looks different this year. And what a better Christian Christmas message could you deliver than saying you're slaughtering the people who are standing on the land that you want? That's Merry Christmas, huh? And by the way, when Satan Claus comes down the chimney, he knows whether you've been naughty or nice because he monitors all of your social media and your emails. So be good for goodness sake, or he's going to send a laser-guided reindeer down your chimney, and you better have the milk and cookies ready. Jolly old Saint Nuke. That's what I call him, ladies and gentlemen. So Scott Ritter kind of gave it to him. Scott Ritter says, "Rotten hell, BB. You're the most evil man in the world, whose hateful ideology has condemned tens of thousands of Palestinians to death at the hands of your brutal military. Yitzhak Rabin had led Israel down a path of peace. You helped murder him and have since taken Israel down the path of death and destruction, which will inevitably lead to its rightful destruction. I will celebrate the day and your repugnant nation are eliminated from the face of the earth. Free Palestine. Merry Christmas." I said that at by the way, and then Ryan Dawson says, also hundreds of thousands of Iraqis. Israel lied about Iraq and Syria. Yes. And so I actually said that at a Christmas party to a Jewish guy who's a friend of mine. And I said, yeah, I don't think Israel has a right to exist. I don't go that far, and I don't think they have a right to defend themselves against people they're occupying against. And he had never heard someone say that. He didn't think that was coming, and it was just like bam, bam. And I'm like, nobody has a right to an ethno state. But let me bring in the two Jews from Jew Dissidents. Go ahead. What do you have to say about BB's Christmas message?
Okay, listen, let's knock off the bullshit. We all know you want us out here as Jesus bait, and we are willing to continue to do that. If we're not here, your Messiah doesn't come. You want your Messiah, we want the missiles. Let's deal.
Let's work it out. After all the hand-wringing on Fox News for all these years, who'd have thought Israel would wage the literal war on Christmas? But I mean, this is a literal war on Christmas, and they seem to be supporting this one, not only in this speech, but obviously they attacked Bethlehem. How much more literal does it get than that? So, yeah.
I can't believe that. You don't take the day off? I mean, God, have you ever heard of optics?
It's Christmas.
All right,
yeah.
save your jokes.
You attack Bethlehem on Christmas.
Save your jokes, because we're going to do that as a segment coming up. Hold on. Don't blow your wad in this segment. Go ahead. Keep going, though. But I wonder
no,
go ahead. Keep going.
That was just amazing. And it's the arrogance that comes with the knowledge that it's like you hired the biggest, meanest bully in the neighborhood to always walk around with you, so you can be as much of an asshole as you want. How do you go while you're in the middle of this mass slaughter of women and children and put up this video wishing your Christian friends Merry Christmas? That is the arrogance of impunity.
They talk about when you don't. They've lost the room, and the room I mean is planet Earth.
Right.
Maybe it's time. Maybe they should talk to Elon Musk about moving to Mars. They'll have a maybe they'll find someone to blow up there too. But how do you think this will end for people like Bibi and the Zionists? I think that before this happened, I didn't know much. I knew that. I kind of vaguely knew Palestine was being occupied, and I knew they were the underdog, and I knew they threw rocks, and Israel and the IDF shot them.
Right.
And I knew about the Iron Dome, and I knew that they had health care and we didn't, and yet we're giving them money. So I already had a chip on my shoulder. But now I know everything almost. There is a lot. I put it this way. I know enough to know that I don't support Israel, and I certainly don't support Zionists or Zionism, and I compare them with Nazis. So that's how far I've come, and I understand about the Nakba. I didn't know about the Nakba. I didn't know how Israel got settled. I didn't know any of the history. I do know all that stuff now, and I know that there's $500 billion in oil and gas underneath Gaza, the West Bank, and off the coast. I know that's happening. I know that I wouldn't have known any of that stuff if they didn't do this, but they were always been planned. This was always the plan for the Zionists, right? They always wanted to take Gaza, and they always wanted to take the West Bank, and they just needed a pretext to do it. And the pretext was funding Hamas and trying to divide and conquer the Palestinian Liberation Organization and Hamas. And so when Hamas actually were the people who would fight back with the money they were given by Israel, they could use that as a pretext to do what they're doing. That's what I know now.
Yeah, they propped up Hamas in order to discredit any movement for a Palestinian state. And you're absolutely right. They just wanted a pretext to go in and clean the place out. And that's exactly what they're doing. And that's exactly what I knew they were going to do on October 7th. I said Gaza's days are numbered. It's a horrible, horrible thing. But that's what's going to happen. What I didn't expect, pardon me, is for as many people to learn about this as quickly as they are, all pretty much at the same time. And that's why you're just seeing this massive outpouring of resistance to what Israel is doing. And to answer what you asked, I think long-term Israel will be a pariah state. They are not going to get away with this in the long run because the support of the world, like you said, they've lost the room. They have lost the room. You just cannot do a thing like this in broad daylight nowadays, where everybody has a camera on them at all times and can post whatever within the view of that camera up online and have it viewed by tens of millions of people within a few minutes.
Yeah, it looks like Iran made the attempt to ally the Arab states to take some kind of action. And it looks like most of them are too corrupted and too bought off by U.S. and Western bribes to really step up to protect the Palestinian people. But even barring that changing, they're going to be a pariah state. You're going to see, I know we have a story coming up that demonstrates how much of its influence over the rest of the world the U.S. is losing. The rest of the world is just not going to follow the U.S.'s lead of wanting to let them get away with this. You're going to see boycotts. You're going to see sanctions against Israel. And you may even see removal of ambassadors, withdrawal of ambassadors, throwing ambassadors out of countries. They're not just going to be able to go back to business as usual.
Okay, well, Merry Christmas. Come see us do a live stand-up show. We'll be in Venice, California, Palmdale, California, Omaha, Des Moines, Milwaukee, Lansing, Bend, Oregon, Portland, Oregon, Seattle, Washington, Boston, Massachusetts, and we're going to Europe. Do you live in Europe? We're going to be there. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for all those tickets.